Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. Got a contributor relatively new. She's a regular on the program, Sandra Finch, with the Finch CPA firm. The website, by the way, is Finch, F-I-N-C-H, CPAfirm.com. Sandra, how are you today?
I'm doing great.
Excellent. You know, you've got a very timely topic as people are number crunching and pencil wearing down and all kinds of things as we are in the middle of tax season. It's a not very well known, but really needs to be known deduction. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, it's called the Domestic Production Activities Deduction, or sometimes we call it the Section 199. It's all about anybody who is doing some sort of work in the United States. It's got a very broad definition that includes basically taking any raw materials and making them into something else. And that includes construction. It includes every aspect of construction: electricians, plumbers, architects, engineers, even the general contractor who normally is just, providing a service. And the deduction is 9% of your net income, with a couple of limitations that aren't usually too hard to beat. And you don't spend another dime for it. You just get 9% of your net income as a deduction, times your tax rate. And if you've got an S corporation or a partnership or a sole proprietorship, any of those things that end up on your 1040, then that's where that deduction goes, is on your 1040.
So how old is this deduction?
It is not that old, but it got better and better. In 2004, they started allowing it, but it was only a 3% deduction. And then in 2007, it went up to 6%, and ever since 2010, it's been up to 9%, unless you're in oil and gas, and then it's only 6% still. But I guess it's maybe about 5 or 6 years old, but we're learning more and more about it all the time. We even use it for a company. Now, it's not allowed for restaurants in the retail sense, but we do use it for a catering company who makes lunches for private schools because they take raw materials and they turn it into something else.
Yeah, you gotta like that. And there's a lot of flexibility in that. And I gotta tell you, as you well know, I've been doing this show for 15 years, and so I've not heard of this. And so I do get kind of excited like you do, and I think the listener should as well. Why do you think this hasn't gotten as much exposure?
I don't know. I think maybe because it is fairly new. We've had a lot of tax stuff going on in the last 5 years with Obamacare and different things that CPAs have had to stop and pay attention to that I won't bore you with, but this one has just kind of been a sleeper. We only started using it 3 years ago, and every year I notice another company, or I take another seminar, learn a little more about it, and I notice another company, like an electrician this year. He had a great bang-up year. And I said, hey, how much of your work is done on actual construction of real estate? Not repairs, but construction. He says, oh, man, we did Minute Maid Park this year. Are you kidding? We do big jobs. And so I said, well, that's going to qualify. So we ended up getting like a $24,000 deduction on his personal tax return without him spending another dime.
Wow. Gotta love that. And so like anything else, I mean, I guess part of the problem is you got a tax code that somewhere around 1 million pages.
Yes.
And so part of the problem is finding all these gems in the rough, if you will, diamonds in the rough.
Yes. I think that's true. But that's what I love about it. For one thing, is that for every taxpayer, there's so many tricks in the bag. You can pull another one out for this kind or another one out for that kind. So to me, it's like a creative process. There's always something else that you can learn or that you can apply to a client that you hadn't thought of before. And I love these. I love deductions that aren't limited based on how much money you make. There's very few of them. And I love deductions that you get just because you've already spent the money or you've already made the income. You don't have to go out and buy a new truck to get the deduction or something. You just get it because you're in the United States and you're providing a valuable service in making something here in the United States, and you're not importing it. And I like that reward.
So, Senator Finch, she is a regular on the program, and give your website one more time as we wrap up the segment.
It's www.finchcpafirm.com.
Yep, FinchCPAFirm.com. It's FINCH, and she's a regular on the program, and by the way, getting great feedback from listeners about what you share. And I think part of it has to do with your unique background, that you actually have degrees in education, in addition to being a CPA, which I think you make something that's often scary and mysterious. You kind of have this ability to remove the veil, if you will, and we're glad to have you.
Well, I am glad to be here. I really look forward to these segments.
Well, you do a great job. Senator Finch, make sure you check her out there. And we're going to have more for you right after this on The Price of Business.
Thanks.